My favorite synth sound has been used by tons of artists, from Medusa to Cream to Jax Jones. It's this deep saw sound that's usually meant to emphasize downbeats. But I want to show you how to make it a lot cooler like this. The basic version of the sound is pretty simple to make. You just take a saw wave, pitch it 2 octaves down, add some voices of unison and detune them a little bit. Then over in the effects section, just add some compression, crank up the distortion, and add a low pass filter and modulate the cutoff of that low pass filter with this envelope shape right here. But there are 3 things we can focus on to make it go from that sound to this sound. First, we're going to talk about what we can change within Serum to help it sound better, and then we're going to talk about how we can add some movement to help it really come to life. And most importantly, we'll talk about what cool effects we can add to make it sound more professional. So in Serum, the first thing I'm going to do is layer oscillator B in here and just make it 1 octave above oscillator A. So I'm still going to keep the mix of that layer pretty low. It's just to add a little bit of depth to the sound. So the first thing I can do to help it sound a little cooler is take envelope 2 right here, put the sustain all the way down, and map it to the detunes of each oscillator. Now you'll see the detune open up when I press the notes. Obviously that's way too much, so I'm just going to tone that down a bit. Now to make it a little grittier, let's add some white noise in here. But I'm actually going to send that white noise through the effects, and I actually want it to go through this filter as well. So I'm just going to check on the N for the noise oscillator. So the only thing this high pass filter is affecting is the white noise, so no low frequencies come in and interfere with our main sound. I'm just going to keep that low. It just adds some subtle noise to make it a little grittier. Then over in the effects section, I'm just going to add some resonance to the filter. Now we don't want to open up the filter all the way, because you get those harsh high frequencies in there and you want it to sound nice and deep. But we also don't want it to sound boring, so let's add some movement. Let's send macro 1 to the sustain of this envelope. Now we can use that to draw some automation in there. Another thing we can do is just duplicate this sound, but then move the attack way up, and then we can get this kind of reverse effect that goes into the first note. So I'm going to put that right before this melody starts. And of course, pitch bends can help add some movement too. And we need some external effects to finish it off. I've been using this EQ to cut out the very low end because it's such a wide sound. We don't want this to take up the sub frequencies. We'll have another bass sound doing that. And you can see there's not that many high frequencies being used at the very top end of the range. But we can actually still make the high end sound nice and crispy while keeping the sound deep like it is right now. The way we're going to do that is to add some bit crusher. I'll add another EQ so you can see what the bit crusher is doing to the high end. But I'm going to keep that mix low just so it's adding some subtle crispiness without overdoing it. And another thing we can do to help the high end cut through is just add a separate white noise layer that's playing the same rhythm. And I'll add a little bit of room reverb to help put it in a space. Now it's pretty much finished, but if you want a cool variation, you could actually run it through a guitar amp for a unique sound. That actually sounds really cool, but I think I'm going to leave it off for this track. Alright, I'll play the full thing now. Let me know if I should keep working on this track down below. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.